Hello there. I'm here to drop another doozy in this whole Save TF2 shenanigan. See, I think, while I'm not a big content creator, I can approach some things from a nice business perspective. I'm a sales guy, guys? You don't know, whatever. What type of sales guy wears my next line of merch? If I ever become famous, I'll rip t-shirts for you. Now, okay, enough of the distraction. I've been hearing and seeing and reading some insane shit on the internet about Save TF2. And there's a lot of talk about how to make it work and how to not make it work. Now, I want to give 2 cents from a commercial standpoint, from a business standpoint. I think this is the only place where I have some legitimate say, judging, as a business insider. I know I don't look like one, but trust me, I wear a suit and tie. And if you see me around wearing a suit and tie, you can say hi, I guess, but probably we will not see one another. So, with that being said, first of all, what is not will 100% not work? Like, I'm sorry to pour cold water on you guys and like crush your hopes and dreams like I'm your mom or dad who just told you that Santa doesn't exist, but like, no, boycotting the game, not buying keys or not buying MVM tickets is gonna do jack shit. And to be completely honest, it might even only make it worse. I want to paint something very clear. The way I see it, Valve is semi done with TF2. If all of a sudden people start quitting the game more and stop buying the loot and everything, this gives them just the excuse to kill the game. Completely honest now. Just understand the following. If TF2 would die tomorrow, like literally die, if suddenly 100% of people would drop TF2, and not because they're boycotting or anything, just because they want to drop TF2, if the whole world forgot about the game, Valve would be happy. They would move on, and this is exactly what I think they want. They just want to get rid of this. They're done with this game. They don't want to do anything with it any longer. Now, keep this in mind when you look at what is happening with TF2. TF2 is irrelevant. I'm telling you. This has been brought up. I heard this also in a specific live stream. I'm pretty sure you know which one I'm talking about, but what they will lose from a TF2 store boycott is just nothing. It's little money. They can make it back so quick, it doesn't make a dent. Now, but here's what people are missing. And here is what I think should be the focus. I haven't seen this properly discussed or mentioned, hence I want to bring this out. But focus, I like the focus that now it's less of a TF2, but focus on Valve and fix Valve, push Valve into making their products better. I think this is a very good approach. And to be honest, like I see everybody agreeing on this, but they're missing a very big picture. You have a problem in a sister or brother game, whatever you want to call it. CS, Counter-Strike is having a big issue ever since CS Source 2 came out. Ever since they removed Go and made it 2. Like, to be completely honest, if you ask any player and they're like decently honest with you, apart from the way skins look, and there's also questionable, CSGO was a better experience than CS2. In terms of cheating, it was better. They had less bots, they had less cheaters, they had less farmers. In terms of just, the game quality, the maps and everything, it was better. It just, the matchmaking was not also shit. And here the matchmaking is more fucked in the sense of the rank system is now so stupidly made, it's convoluted, unnecessarily, just all over the place. So CS2 also needs some attention, some Valve attention. We're getting some updates there, of course. However, it's not at the pace where I would say we wanted to. We got a case which shouldn't be the focus. To be completely honest, they should focus. It's been so long, and the game is still not at the level of what CSGO was. Now, why am I talking about all of this nonsense? You don't care about Counter-Strike, you care about TF2, hence you watch a video about Save TF2. Well, the gist is very simple. You want to focus on Valve, which is very right. This is the right approach. Focus on this. Call in other communities. Don't be afraid to try to involve CS people, Counter-Strike people into this, Counter-Strike content creators, Counter-Strike, community figures, anybody who is involved in Counter-Strike. If you can spread this out to Counter-Strike and have them also voice the problems that they have with the game, this would make a big impact. Now, here is a big catch here. This is something that ideally is not done right away, but if you start seeing that safe or fixed TF2 is not getting the right interaction or the right result with Valve, then this is the very important card to play, because if you introduce CS2 players into this, then the hashtag should evolve from fix TF2 to something like Valve fix your games, or like fix your games Valve, something like that. And then there is gonna be more impact. If Counter-Strike players can even agree, forget about a boycott, if they can agree to simply state that they're unhappy with the game and also leave negative reviews as a result, this will definitely make Valve look. This will definitely make them do something, because at the end, Counter-Strike is, I would argue, the most important game they have on the table right now. It is the most important thing. It's their prestige, it's their image. TF2 is nothing. If TF2 died tomorrow, nobody gives a shit. People who play Dota don't give a shit. People who play Counter-Strike don't give a shit. And the problem is they need to understand that they have to give a shit. Counter-Strike is facing the same problems. They're now still blissfully ignorant. Like, I am a Counter-Strike player myself as well, so thankfully I have both of these references. But I can't escape the feeling that Counter-Strike is starting to go down the path, the same path that Team Fortress 2 started going in 2015, 2016. Where everything is slowing down, it's dying. You think that something is gonna come, but in reality, there's just not much coming. So it's important. I think if Fix TF2, Save TF2 doesn't work, this is the very right next step to encourage Counter-Strike players to talk about their problems and turn this hashtag into fix the whole games, Valve fixing their products. This would make a statement. This would make an impact. And once again, it should be focused. It should be focused on specifically anti-cheat. That is the key problem of both of these games. You can argue the content and whatever, that's a different story. You need to make the game playable. That's important. Now, once again, I just want to close this off simply by saying that it doesn't make sense to boycott the market. This is not to discourage people to do that. I want to point this out. Am I going to boycott the TF2 market? Well, yes, but because I'm not buying anything from the TF2 market anyway. Like, I don't need anything. I don't unbox cases. I don't buy anything. I have some Tour of Duty tickets left from 2-3 years ago that I still didn't play. So it's easy for me. I just don't find myself that interested in the game anymore due to its problems to invest any money into it anyway. But you have to be realistic. I understand you're trying to create this, big movement, and every criticism almost that comes against this nowadays is regarded as, doomerism or something like that, but it's not. You have to understand this boycott is not going to add anything. Public attention is what matters to Valve. Their reputation costs them more than whatever loss they can have from such a market boycott within a year. Even if you could hold this for a year, I'd wager that money is not going to cost them as much as the negative press, as all of this, negative attention towards them and their games, and all of this negativity coming to their new game, Deathlock. So to be completely honest with you, look at this problem from a different perspective, because you're thinking you're making a logical leap, but it's just not connecting. It's not right. What you do is just gonna divide the community. At the end, the moment you get into this boycott, some people are gonna think it's stupid. People who are not involved realize this. You have above 200,000 people who signed the petition. Out of these people, how many people play TF2? How many of them played TF2 within the last month? And better yet, how many of these people actually bought anything in TF2? That's the important question. I just don't see the value of creating such a harsh, let's say, movement, or, you know, a coordinated attack, let's call it this way, where you will have to have forced people to make a decision. People who are not playing the game, it's easy for them, but it will create ground. There's already doomers versus people who support. Then there's gonna be in the people who support, the purists who will defend that, oh, you know, you don't buy. If you buy, you're an asshole, you're against us. And people who genuinely at the time, you know, they want to unlock a case, or I don't know, you know, people who bought a couple things or buy a couple of things in the boycott and think this is useless, you're just going to create a divide between people who actually play the game, which is never going to be good. So at the end, once again, too much yapping. Focus on the media. Focus on the message. A lot of more content creators are jumping on the board. Try to get more community voices to speak about this. The bigger the celebrity, the better. And I know there is also a bit skepticism of, you know, people are just jumping it on the trend. Yeah, sure. To be completely honest, if a big name such as Markiplier would jump into Save TF2, I don't care why he does it. The voice that he brings to the community, the amplification of this movement that is going to be, you know, thanks to his video or whatever he makes about this, if he ever does, this will create a more benefit for the community than it could create a negative thing. Oh, maybe, you know, he was just trend writing. Don't think like that. That is not true. That is not the right way to think. At the end, push it, and if it doesn't work, don't overextend it stupidly. If you want to overextend it, adapt it, make sure that these problems are heard, make sure to use this new leverage, Deadlock. They're making this stupid game, while both of these games, TF2 and CS2, how ironic, both of them 2 letters and a 2 at the end, right? Both of them have problems, both of them are neglected, both of them need updates, and they're just rolling out the different PvP game. Focus on that. That is just perfect. They gave you the golden opportunity to talk shit about them. But only, once again, not now. If it fails, if there's something wrong, do it again. Hell, I'll end this by saying, you know, I wish I would be present and more active in the community. God knows, you know, had I started YouTube properly a while ago and amassed any following, I would have loved to actually try to help coordinate this thing. However, the way I see it, everything is started great, don't get me wrong. No hate to people who organize this. It's all great. However, a position is gonna be, you're gonna be caught in a crossroad where you don't know exactly what the right thing is, but choosing the extreme of boycott the market might sound lucrative, but think about it again. Think about it again. Maybe there's another way forward. All right. End of the line. I'm no war general. I'm no politician or party advocate. I don't know how to run these things, but probably neither do you. We are a community. We're trying to make something work. And at the end of the day, as long as you guys are happy with one another, as long as people don't start pointing fingers at one another, you did this, you did that, everything is good. Remember, the aim of this is to create public awareness, is to create more headlines, to make sure that people at Valve hear this. That's what matters. That's what is the money shot, not them losing some change pocket money that they don't need. Make them hear, make them understand what they hear. That's the message. With that being said, look at my damn channel. I'm just yapping for the past videos. Isn't that great? See you next time when I hear another stupid thing about this and I have to yap for 10 minutes again. Thanks for listening. I need to probably take some meds to stop talking like a lunatic. Goodbye.